Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we're on day 185. Welcome to the channel. I am so happy that you're here today. And for my American friends, I would like to wish everybody a happy Independence Day. Being that we're on day 185, we are going to be reading out of Joshua chapter 12, Jeremiah chapter 3, 2Corinthians chapter 8, but only verses 16 through 24 today. And then we'll close out the day with Psalm 104, verses 1 through 9. And as a little heads up, Joshua chapter 12, the one we're going to dive into today, there is it looks to me, I haven't read it yet, but it looks to me like genealogy or a list of names. So for those who have been following me for a while, you know how awesome I am at this. So here we go. Let's get started. Now these are the kings of the land, whom the children of Israel struck, and possessed their land beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise, from the valley of Arnon to Mount Hermon, and all the Arabah eastward. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon and ruled from Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and the middle of the valley, and half Gilead, even to the river Jabbok, the border of the children of Ammon, and the Arabah to the sea of Chinneroth eastward, and to the sea of Arabah, even the salt sea eastward, the way to Beth Jeshimoth, and on the south, under the slopes of Pisgah, and the border of Og, king of Bashan, of the remnant of the Rephaim, who lived at Ashtaroth and at Edrei, and ruled in Mount Hermon, and in Selecah, and in all Bashan, to the border of the Geshurites, and the Maccathites, and half Gilead, the border of Sihon, king of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the children of Israel struck them. Moses, the servant of Yahweh, gave it for a possession to the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. These are the kings of the land whom Joshua and the children of Israel struck beyond the Jordan westward, from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon, even to Mount Halak, that goes up to Seir. Joshua gave it to the tribes of Israel for possession, according to their divisions. In the hill country, and in the lowland, and in the Arabah, and in the slopes, and in the wilderness, and in the south, the Hittite, the Amorite, and the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. The king of Jericho, 1. The king of Ai, which is beside Bethel, 1. The king of Jerusalem, 1. The king of Hebron, 1. The king of Jarmuth, 1. The king of Lachish, 1. The king of Eglon, 1. The king of Gezer, 1. The king of Debir, 1. The king of Gedar, 1. The king of Hormah, 1. The king of Arad, 1. The king of Libnah, 1. The king of Adullam, 1. The king of Makkedah, 1. The king of Bethel, 1. The king of Tappuah, 1. The king of Hepher, 1. The king of Aphek, 1. The king of Lasharon, 1. The king of Medon, 1. The king of Hazor, 1. The king of Shimron, Meron, 1. The king of Akshaph, 1. The king of Tanakh, 1. the king of Megiddo, 1. The king of Kadesh, 1. The king of Jokneam in Carmel, 1. The king of Dor in the height of Dor, 1. The king of Golim in Gilgal, 1. The king of Tirzah, 1. And all the kings, 31. Can you imagine being the one called by God? God actually put his hand on Joshua's mouth and said, these are the words. To be guided by God to take down 31 kings. We're not just talking about 31, generals or something like that. These are kings. Whoa, I would be terrified to be Joshua. I am not strong enough. Wow. All right. So Jeremiah chapter 3. I got them mixed up. No. God put his hand on Jeremiah's mouth. I'm getting the two books crossed. However, God did call Joshua, and they did take 31 kings down. That is still impressive. All right, Jeremiah chapter 3. Here we go. That's what happens when we hop around. All right, so they say, if a man puts away his wife and she goes from him and becomes another man's, should he return to her again? Wouldn't that land be greatly polluted? But you have played the prostitute with many lovers, yet returned again to me, says Yahweh. Lift up your eyes to the bare heights and seal. Lift up your eyes to the bare heights and see. Where have you not been lain with? You have sat waiting for them by the road, as an Arabian in the wilderness. You have polluted the land with your prostitution and with your wickedness. Therefore the showers have been withheld, and there have been no latter rain. Yet you have had a prostitute's forehead, and you refuse to be ashamed. Will you not from this time cry to me, my Father? You are the guide of my youth. Will he retain his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, you have spoken and have done evil things and have had your way. Moreover, Yahweh said to me in the days of Josiah the king, have you seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up on every high mountain and under every green tree and has played the prostitute there. I said, after she had done all these things, she will return to me. But she didn't return, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. I saw then, for this very cause, that backsliding Israel had committed adultery. I had put her away and given her a certificate of divorce. Yet treacherous Judah, her sister, had no fear, but she also went and played the prostitute. Because she took her prostitution lightly, the land was polluted, and she committed adultery with stones and with wood. Yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah has not returned to me with her whole heart, but only in pretense, says Yahweh. Yahweh said to me, backsliding Israel has shown herself more righteous than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, you backsliding Israel, says Yahweh. I will not look in anger on you, for I am merciful, says Yahweh. I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge your iniquity, that you have transgressed against Yahweh your God, and have scattered your ways to the strangers under every green tree, and you have not obeyed my voice, says Yahweh. Return, backsliding children, says Yahweh, for I am a husband to you. I will take one of you from a city and two from a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you shepherds according to my heart, who will feed you with knowledge and understanding. It will come to pass when you are multiplied and increased in the land in those days, says Yahweh. They will no longer say, the ark of Yahweh's covenant. It will not come to mind. They won't remember it. They won't miss it, nor will another be made. At that time they will call Jerusalem Yahweh's throne, and all the nations will be gathered to it, to Yahweh's name, to Jerusalem. They will no longer walk after the stubbornness of their evil heart. In those days the house of Judah will walk with the house of Israel, and they will come together out of the land of the north to the land that I gave for an inheritance to your fathers. But I said, how I desired to put you among the children, and give you a pleasant land of goodly heritage of the armies of the nations. And I said, you shall call me my Father, and shall not turn away from following me. Surely as a wife treacherously departs from her husband, so you have dealt treacherously with me, house of Israel, says Yahweh. A voice is heard on the bare heights, the weeping and the petitions of the children of Israel, because they have perverted their way. They have forgotten Yahweh their God. Return, you backsliding children, and I will heal your backsliding. Behold, we have come to you, for you are Yahweh our God. Truly help from the hills. The tumult on the mountains is in vain. Truly the salvation of Israel is in Yahweh our God. But the shameful thing has devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth, their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters. Let us lie down in our shame, and let our confusion cover us. For we have sinned against Yahweh our God, we and our fathers, from our youth even to this day. We have not obeyed Yahweh our God's voice. Wow. I know that is history, but my goodness, it sounds very current. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 16 through 24. All right, but thanks be to God, who puts the same earnest care for you into the heart of Titus. For he indeed accepted our exhortation, but being himself very earnest, he went out to you of his own accord. We have sent together with him the brother whose praise in the good news is known throughout all the assemblies. Not only so, but he was also appointed by the assemblies to travel with us in his grace, which is served by us to the glory of the Lord himself, and to show our readiness. We are avoiding this, that any man should blame us concerning his abundance, which is administered by us, having regard for honorable things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. We have sent with them our brother, whom we have many times proved earnest in many things, but how much more earnest by reason of the great confidence which he has in you. As for Titus, he is my partner and fellow worker for you. As for our brothers, they are the apostles of the assemblies, the glory of Christ. Therefore, show the proof of your love to them before the assemblies, and of our boasting on your behalf. Paul just wrapping up some details there. All right, closing out Psalm 104, verses 1 through 9. I don't know if y'all noticed, I did end up having to... I actually did it. It was so difficult trying to hold it, and it just creasing, so I actually did. Oh, It was rough. But now I can read to you easier. So that's good. Psalm 104, verses 1 through 9. Bless Yahweh, my soul. Yahweh, my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty. He covers himself with light as with a garment. He stretches out the heavens like a curtain. He lays the beam of his rooms in the waters, and he makes the clouds his chariot. He walks on the wings of the wind. He makes his messengers winds, and his servants flames of fire. He laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be moved forever. You covered it with the deep as with a cloak. The waters stood above the mountains. At your rebuke they fled. At the voice of your thunder they hurried away. The mountains rose. The valleys sank down to the place which you had assigned them. You have set a boundary that they may not pass over, that they don't turn again to cover the earth. Wow. I think about that sometimes. I think just recently, I think about when God created earth. And, you know, this is probably so careless to think this way, but this is where my mind is. I just imagine him sitting there forever, absolutely forever. Forever. Can you imagine that? Forever. Forever, 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 forever. And then he just decides to be creative. And he just decides, you know what? I'm going to make this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have the mountains rise and the valleys low. I'm going to have the waters raise up. And oh, no, 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 not there. You got to go a little farther away. I think about that sometimes. That's where my mind goes. I am so happy that you were here today. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 186. For those of us in the United States, get those barbecues cracking. Let's get those hot dogs and burgers going. And have a fantastic day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.